Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today's a very special day because I'm going to go ahead and document my top 25 Mickey Mantle cards. Now, I'm not going to include every card that I have. This video will take forever of Mantle. I'm going to include mainly his main cards. I do have a lot of his all-star cards and the Mantle homers and those World Series type things and a whole bunch of other stuff and the game card and all that, but I'm not going to include any of those. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go with the basic run of Mantle plus a few others in there that are just basic things. So, but before I do that, the top 25, just a couple of cards that I really like that are just kind of honorable mentions, I guess. Just cards that so I'm not including these type of cards where there's dual players or league leaders or anything like that he appears in. I do have probably most of the Mantle cards out there for playing days, except some of the rarer issues. But anyway, let's start with that. And that is a beautiful 1957 Mantle and Barrel. And it's the last card of the set. And it's just a beautiful card of them sitting in the dugout. A couple of players in the background there also with them. Another card that I like is this one here. So I wanted to include that. That's another great card of Mantle and Mays, two of the greatest players that we have seen, in our era, in our generation. We'll see how the newer guys, the Otanis and stuff, live up to that. But so far, these are the big guys. And what I love about this card is that behind him, there's Hank Aaron back there. And I'm not sure if that's Ernie Banks, but definitely that's Hank back there, along with Willie and Mickey. So starting with the 25 cards. Now, I have not put these in order by value. I'm just putting them by year. But because it just takes too much time for me to go through VCP and pick out which are the most expensive ones. And we all know it's going to be the 52 Mantle and the rookie card, the 51 Bowman. So my top 5 will be probably the most expensive. But here, I'm going to do them by year. So this is the 1969 Mantle in 7. And these are just, beautiful cards. I do not have the name in white. And that's the variation, and that's one card that, I'll find eventually. It's just my priorities for Mantle have so many Mantles that it kind of moved on to the pre-war. So that's the 69 Mantle. Oops, throwing Mantles everywhere. This is the 68 Mantle. 1968 in a 6. And again, it's just another batting pose. He comes out in a few batting poses. This one was in a 7. So that's the Mantle, 1968 Mantle. And 1967 Mantle, here's a 1967 in a 7. And this is just a gorgeous example of it. Very nicely centered, just a nice clear shot of him. A lot of these cards usually have print marks and things like that. But this is one that is pretty clean. Well, it's in a 7. And I also have the O-Pee-Chee version of this card, and in a 2.5. And basically, it's they're a little bit different. The print quality you see is bad. O-Pee-Chee is always off center. It does have some print lines. The back is a little bit lighter, and the back says printed in Canada, as you can see there, versus printed in the USA. So this one just has some soft corners. But that's why it's mainly a 2.5, but in the front it looks pretty sharp. So that's the 1967 O-Pee-Chee Mantle in a 2.5. And moving on to 1966, we got the 1966 Topps in a 6. Again, another batting pose of Mantle, but nice card. You could see in the background there, it's in the stadium batting. Looks like it's batting practice. So that's the 1966 Topps. I also have the 1966 O-Pee-Chee which is, again, similar pose, similar card. O-Pee-Chees are much tougher to get centered. So, you know, all these cards, vintage cards, are tough to get centered. So that's the 1966 O-Pee-Chee. Again, the difference is the color on the back. O-Pee-Chee is more faded, so you can see, and it does say printed in Canada versus printed in the USA. So that's the 1966 Tops in a 6, and the 1966 O-Pee-Chee in a 3.5. Moving on to 1965, we've got the 1965 in a 7, and 65s is a beautiful beautiful card. Again, he's out there taking a swing. You got some players in the background. I love the pennant on the 65s, and again, a really nice sharp card, very well centered for a vintage card. So that's the 1966. I haven't been showing the backs, but you know, the backs are clean. It's a 7, so it's going to be clean. And again, another 7 here is the 1964 Mantle. Again, another beautiful card. Again, in the batting cage, and there's like, when it gets in the, I mean, you can see him in the batting cage in a lot of these here, in his, you know, from 64 on. So this is a 1964, and again, another nice card of Mantle, and it's tough to get these without the black area here always has ink spots or printing defects and stuff like that. The 1963 Mantle in a 6, and this is a really tough one to get in great condition, especially in the green down the bottom there. And this one's not the best, off-centered and stuff, but it's still a beautiful card of Mickey Mantle in a 6. And you can see the back there, nice and clean. 1963 Tops Mantle. So moving on to one of my favorite sets, and that's the 1962 Tops. And I just love this. A lot of people, you know, it's a love-hate relationship with this set. Some people love it, some people hate it. But for me, I really, really like that wood border, especially if it's nice and clean, like in this card, and beautifully centered. You know, it's got little tips on the corner, but, you know, it's a great card, no print defects or anything like that on it. And you can see the back is also nice and clean. So this is the 1962 Mantle in a 7. So I think we're kind of halfway through here. So let's move on to the 1961, again in a 7. And this is another really, really nice card. I like this set. You know, this has a little bit of a print defect on it right there, but other than that, it's a sharp card, a little bit off-centered. All of these cards, most of these cards, I bought them raw and I had them graded, and you know, sometimes I had a couple of them, and I kept the best ones. So this is, they're all going to be, as you can see, the old label for the most part. So this is the 1961 Mantle in a 7. One of the Mantles I really like is a 1960, and that is another beautiful one, the 1960. It's super nice. Got a little bit of thing there on the border, but other than that, you know, this is a beautiful Mantle. I really like the 1960. It's got the little batting him there, and it's got a nice pose of the Mick. Just a nice sharp card, nicely centered, and that one also is an A7. So moving on to the 1959, and you got the 1959 Mantle in a 4.5. And again, it's a nice nice Mantle. This one's just a little bit of a problem with the corner over there. This was in my 59 set, not one of the best cards in that set, but again, it's came from a collection I've had for many, many, many years. So that's my 1959 Mantle, and you can see the back of it. It's nice and pretty clean in the back. Then before that comes the 1958 Mantle, and I've got that in a 4. And again, these have come from my collection from way back when, and you can see they're all old, you know, old PSA slabs that were graded many years ago. So this is the 1958. I love that orange background there. Just a beautiful, beautiful card of Mantle with a nice pose there with the Yankee logo. I love that Yankee logo, the red, white, and blue. And that's the back of the card. I haven't been showing the back of all the cards, but anyway, that's 58 Mantle. Another one that I really like is the 1957. And this 1957 is in a 6. It's just off-centered, but other than that, it's really, really a beautiful, sharp card. And this is the one that has that ghost. They always say it's the ghost of Babe Ruth in the background, because Topps tried to, blacken out that player that was back there, so you really can't tell who that is. But a beautiful 1957 card, and it shows Mantle there, really in his prime. The year after he won the Triple Crown, and this picture was probably taken the year of the Triple Crown, and it's a nice actual photograph of Mantle there. So I'll show you the back. That's what the back looks like there. And from 57 now comes really one of everyone's favorite Mantles, and that's a 1956. Now I got this in a 3. This is one of the first Mantles I ever got. So I haven't upgraded it. I really don't intend to upgrade it. It's beautifully centered, nice clear picture of Mantle there. It's got the rounded corners, but overall there's no creasing, so there's really no need for me to, at this point in my collecting career, to upgrade that. I've got other more important projects I'm working on. But anyway, that's a beautiful Mantle. Him making that great catch that, it's famous how they did that. It's not really it wasn't the play, but anyway, that's another story. And here's the back of that Mantle. Again, it's a clean Mantle other than just having the rounded corners. Had that card for many years, like all of these. Here's another one that I really like, and a tough one to get in good condition, and that's the 55 Bowman. 55 Bowman is a really tough card because, again, these borders on this card are really, really difficult to have them nice and sharp, and this one is a 6. And I got to tell you, I've looked over this card, and it's pretty well centered, left to right, top to bottom, and I really couldn't find much why it was a 6. I mean, it's a rough cut up here, but these corners are about as nice as you can get. I really expected this to get a better grade back then, but anyway, that's what it is. It's a beautiful, and you see him back again batting the old when he was young, and got some players in the background, and that's what the card looks on the back. So nice sharp card, and that's the 1955 Bowman Mantle. So let's go to the 1954. Remember, there were no 55 or 54 Topps Mantle, unfortunately, so Bowman was the one that had to take over. So Bowman did the 55 and 54 Mantles. And this is the 54 in a 5. This is a tough card, to find in good condition, surprisingly enough. This one is off center top to bottom, but side to side is really nice. But overall, it's a beautiful card. Doesn't have any print marks around the green area there, and it's just a nice card. Nice looking card. 1954 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a 5. Another card in 1954 that I think is really one of the most beautiful cards of Mantle, and that's the 54 Red Heart. I really love this card. I think it's, probably my top 3 or 4, definitely my top 5 Mantle cards, but I would put that right up there in my top 3 or 4 Mantle cards overall. It's just a beautiful picture of him there, smiling, and kind of looks like the 52 Topps almost, and this is in a 6, which is a great condition, beautifully centered all the way around. You can see the back of that card with the red heart. So that's the back of that, and the dog food. So 1954 Red Heart. Moving to 1953, and we're gonna move to really some of my favorite cards, and I love this one here, the 53 Bowman color. I mean, that picture to me is probably one of the best pictures of Mantle an actual photo of him in Yankee Stadium, you know, right when he was in his prime, just coming into the league. And really, this probably was taken in 50. Well, this picture was taken in 52, I would imagine, where you know, he was just coming into the league. So great photo of him. This one is a near mint 7 stain, and that's because it's got the stain in the back, the gum stain or wax stain in the back. You know, they say soaking could remove that, but this is going to stay as is. It's just a beautiful example. It's got a rough cut on one side, and it's actually an oversized card. I measured it up against the other 53 Bowmans, and it's a little bit bigger. It just fits like it won't even move in this case. But anyway, 1953 Bowman color Mickey Mantle. Beautiful card. Beautiful photo of Mantle. One of my favorite Mantles of all time, probably my favorite. I would rank this as my favorite Mantle. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. The 53 Topps is my favorite. I just love the look of Mantle in that, how they drew it again, in background of it. It's beautiful. This one is in a 6, which is a very high grade for this card. And it's well centered side to side, a little bit top to bottom, but I do like that it's a little heavier on the bottom because I like more of the red, you know, so it looks nice. You know, barely any chipping on this card, and really one of the best examples you're going to see of the 1953 Topps. So moving down to some of the final ones, and next is the 1952 Bowman, and again another great card, beautiful card. I love the 52 Bowmans also, and this one is in a 5. Again, very, very nice, very clean. It's just off center, top to bottom, but it's just a great card of Mantle with that facsimile autograph and stuff. Really a beautiful card. And look at the back of that one. You can see the back. So nice, clean. This one is in a 5, and it's really a beautiful card of Mantle. So the next one, I'm going to move to the rookie card now, and then I'll show you the 52 at the end, because 52, I'll talk a little bit more about that one. But the 51 Bowman, the first big deal that I did when I was a dealer back in the 80s, this card was in that batch, in that deal that I got. It had a little staining here, but overall it was nicely centered, and I ended up, when I did that deal, I ended up selling everything else and keeping this Mantle, and that was that's probably back in the 80s. So this is my my 51 Bowman Mantle rookie card, and you know, it really was the first big card that I got back in the day, the really first big deal that I did. So no intentions on really upgrading it. It probably, well, it is overgraded in my opinion. I think that this is more likely a 2, but just again a beautiful card of Mantle with the sky in the background. Just a really, really nice nice looking card, and you can see the back of that card there, the back of that Mantle. So that's the rookie card, nice and clean in the back. 1951 Bowman in a 3. So the last card is really my biggest card, and that's my 52 Topps Mantle. Let me get this out of here. My 52 Topps, and that is really, to me, my Grail card, the Grail card in my collection. And you know, it's just you know, look at it and you can see it has a story behind it. This has a lot of provenance. This card is I've shown it before, but this is this card right here. It's the 52 Topps Pennsylvania Mystery Fine Mantle. It's the Mystery Fine Mantle, and it is it was authentic. It's not altered. You know, I've talked about it before. SGC went ahead and checked it out and said that it was a minimum size. So it's a minimum size mantle. And the whole story is here, and it talks about how the card was found, and it was in a, you know, basically a pristine, fresh to the hobby card. And that's it. That is my 52 mantle. It is a minimum size, beautifully centered. It's just, look at that. You don't find mantles like this centered, first of all, and you don't find them in such perfect condition. Look at the corners on that. Give it a good look at that. Just extremely sharp card. It was found, and this card came from the person that actually, and this is just, it's got a little scratch on the case, but the person that pulled the card from the pack put this card in a little box with his toys. It was in the attic until he passed away. And then the family found it, and they thought this card would be a very, very high grade. You know, it was thought at the time to be $1 million card, but when it was graded, it came out minimum size. So that gave me the opportunity to buy it. But there it is. I hate that it's in that little baggie, but you know, that is the 1952 Topps mantle. And this is just a little thing I put on there because I don't like to see it that it says altered on there. But so that is my top 25 mantle cards in my collection. And this is the #1 card in my collection. It's the Pennsylvania Mystery Fine Mantle. So thanks for watching, guys. It's Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Please like and subscribe. Leave any comments, and I really, really appreciate you guys. You know, just being so loyal and watching my videos and so on. I was gonna do a top 50 cards in my collection, but I don't want to leave a bunch of good stuff out. So I figured let me do the mantles first, and then I'll come back with another video doing like my top 25 other cards. Something like that's what I'm figuring to do it. So not to mix in so many mantles. So thanks guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. Have an awesome, awesome day. It's Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and I'll catch you on the next one.